Coach Barrick here, Equity Podcast. Can use tools to be fit for life. Talking weighing and measuring today, not your workouts. We're talking about nutrition. If you are kind of in the health and fitness realm and kind of follow some people on Insta or on Facebook or whatever, especially in the nutrition realm, you'll hear all the time about how hard it is to do studies with nutrition. It's very easy to do that with animals because you can put them in a you know box and only feed them what you give them, and it's very easy to control that diet. It's very hard to do that with people. Very difficult. And on top of that, a lot of studies can be self-reported, where people self-report what they eat, what they consume. You see this on the media side as well, with like, hey, how much TV do you watch or whatnot. The problem with that is that people are terrible at self-reporting. Terrible. Or, so one, they just don't understand, they forget, they miss they misremember, they don't write it down when they should, they just flat out lie, they do what they're going to do, or during that self-reporting period, they subconsciously, unconsciously, subconsciously change their habits. Right? If I tell you to record everything you eat for a week, don't change anything, just record it. Are you going to eat different? I bet you are. 1,000% you're going to change how you eat. So self-reporting, just being like, oh, hey, what did you eat last week or whatever, like, you're going to misremember, you're going to not be right. So this is why weighing and measuring can be so beneficial, because it tells us what we're actually doing, not what we think we are doing. Now, weighing and measuring can be a lot, um, especially the first time you do it. But there's different levels to weighing and measuring. There's different steps we can take. The first one, like I said, is just writing it down. Just write down what you're doing. Every time you put something in your mouth, every time you consume something, write it down. Like, that's step one, and that's going to change how you eat. Without a doubt, it'll change what you eat. The next one is to start thinking about your actual portions. And every time you eat a meal, you're going to try and eat a plate method. So a quarter of the plate is your protein, a quarter of the plate is a starch, half your plate is a non-starchy vegetable. Drink a glass of water and do that. That's going to be pretty good. The other way that we used to do it is a fist for your protein, a little cupped palm for your fat, open hand for your carbohydrates. That can work too. But again, that's all by sight. And a lot of times sight can be deceptive. The next one, what I'm currently doing right now is just taking pictures of whatever I eat. So I take a picture of it, and then in the notes I write what it is, and I send that to my nutrition coach. And that helps keep me honest. That's like my everyday thing. And then the next part of that is like, hey, what's the thing that you struggle with? All right, let's weigh and measure that thing. So it's like, hey, I have a tendency to overeat on fat. So whatever the fat thing is, I'm going to make sure that I measure that. Or, hey, I'm chronically under eating my protein. So I'm making sure to only weigh and measure my protein. Or I'm doing lazy macros, where you're just measuring your carbohydrates. You're getting 800 grams of real whole food, of fruits and vegetables. Or you can just weigh and measure everything. And then it's like, okay, now we want to break down how much of each thing should I be getting? How much protein should I be getting each meal or for the day? How much fat? How much carbohydrates? I'm actually tracking the macros. I'm weighing and measuring, so I know to a very good degree what my macros are. And if we can dial that in, if we know all those macros, we know about our caloric intake as well, we can bring that caloric intake down. Now, weighing and measuring, like I said, can be a lot. And some people, there's type A's, there's people that are very habit based. They can get into weighing and measuring everything. If that works for you, good for you. But for some people, just going off and on of weighing and measuring can be really helpful, right? 2 to 4 times a year, you weigh and measure for a week. It just kind of resets. Oh, okay, this is the amount of protein. This is how much rice. This is how much potatoes I should generally be eating per meal. And you kind of get to dial in where you're supposed to be, where you need to be. So, what we're looking for with nutrition is sustainability. And trying out a bunch of these different methods can be super helpful. Hey, let's find the one that works for you. Hey, just thinking about the plate method really helps. And then eventually, what's going to happen, you're going to hit a plateau, right? You're going to hit a little ceiling with that, and then we need to try something else. We need to change it around and fix what we're going to fix. When when you see how much you're actually eating, how you're actually eating, and you have feedback from a coach on that, that's when real change can start to happen. And then when you add consistency on top of that, I mean that's when stuff gets real. That's when we can really start seeing results. Results take time, takes consistency,